It's day 30 of the 31-day Safer Pilot Challenge, and I need you to keep flying that airplane. Welcome to the Safer Pilot Challenge. What is happening, MZRA Nation? Jason Schapper here, who is 30 for 30 on the 31-day Safer Pilot Challenge. You are right there at the finish line. Greatness is upon you, I promise. Hey, real quick, tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow, day 31 will not be a recording like this. Day 31, we will be live. That's tomorrow, Tuesday. We will be live in the morning. Times, details down below. It'll be here on YouTube, here on Facebook, so you can watch all that and check that out. When you're checking in down below that you are 30 for 30, I need you to make me a promise. Say, Jason, I promise you I will fly it all the way to the hangar. So making that promise that you'll fly it all the way to the hangar, what do I mean by that? Well, there's a few scenarios we're going to talk about today. Maybe you fall into the camp where you just made a gorgeous landing and then that nose wheel, ba-boom, just kind of slams on down on you there. Anybody ever done one of those ones? Maybe you just made that gorgeous landing and then that crosswind takes you, or some side loading happens and you're screeching the tires left and right, or you try to get off a taxiway a little bit too soon. Maybe you made that great land and you kept on center line, you get off and you kind of just rush that after landing checklist and everything else. You see, I need you to adopt a mindset of flying it all the way to the hangar. And what do I mean by that? Just because the main wheels touch the ground doesn't mean the airplane's done flying yet. In fact, when you touch, if you've ever found yourself slamming the nose in, it's actually, do you remember the video where we talked about, help me, I'm landing left of center line? If you find yourself landing left of the center line, what did we talk about that? Remember we said that was kind of lazy footwork. It's a tough way to put it, but it's true.
You see, landing on center line starts way out here. In fact, if we could just pause this video here for just a second. So if we extend out, if Coach could draw a line all the way on out, you want to put that center line, as you can see, on your right shoulder. And even this far out, you don't want to end up aligning left of center line, because that will just become exponential the closer and closer you get. Let's go back to real time now. So putting that center line in the left seat, again, you're going to put it on your right shoulder. If you're a CFI in the right seat, you want to literally put it almost in the center of your chest, right? So we're going to fly that on in, and that's where I want your eyes looking. Look at that center line. That's where you should be fixing on. Your point, you have an aiming point, and you have a touchdown point. Now, if you find yourself, as you go to transition, remember, we don't flare, we transition. As you go to transition, if you find yourself drifting left of center, I'm going to argue that your feet are getting a little bit lazy. You thought those pedals down there were just for taxiing. Nope, they're for keeping that airplane straight down that center line. So with that center line on your right shoulder, you're coming on in, and let me show you what left of center looks like. This is left of center. Do you see that? Let me show you right of center now. Let's go that way. This is right of center. Do you see that? Let's get back on center. I gave it power here to keep us a little bit high. This is on center. Do you see that? Hold it here. I'm using my feet. I've got a little bit of right pedal in there, oddly enough. I also have a killer crosswind too, which doesn't help.
Well, slamming the nose in is just giving up at the end once the wheels touch down with the yoke and setting it forward, or releasing that pressure. You see, what really happens is the mains touch down first here, and you hold that back pressure. In fact, if anything, you would give it a little more back pressure, put some weight back on those main wheels. There is a balance between striking the tail and letting the nose slam down though, and just let the nose naturally kind of fall on its own. Then, after you put that nose down gently, then as we roll out, you can come back on that yoke for some aerodynamic braking. Again, putting weight on the main wheels. Where are my brakes? My brakes are here on my mains, not on my nose. So by putting weight back on the main wheels, by pulling back like that once I'm 3 wheels on the ground, I add weight to the main wheels, thus making my brakes more effective. It's called aerodynamic braking.
Now watch this. When I get here, I'm going to give a little bit of right pedal, a little bit of left aileron, and hold it here with me. Hold it here with me. My left wheel is going to touch down first. Watch this. Hold it there. Hold it. Hold on left wheel. Hold on left wheel. Hold on left wheel. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. And there it all comes down from there. And working your proper crosswind correction, some aerodynamic braking.
Now, the other aspect of this is, once I get that nose down, I got that yoke back, I can let it off just a little bit once I've slowed down. I need to get that proper crosswind correction in. Do you remember, I know it was a month ago now, but do you remember day one? Day one, I actually, I was skeptical of even going flying that day to show that maneuver. It was the engine failure on takeoff because the crosswind was so strong that day. And it ended up working out great, as you saw in the video. But think back, you were so focused on the engine failure, but Coach Ray has footage he can play here and show you of taxiing with that crosswind correction in. You turn into the wind. The wind's coming this direction. I take my yoke, I turn as if I want to go into that wind. That's going to help with this on rollout, this left and right kind of dance or side loading that's going to happen. That's caused by the wind, of course. Now you could be doing that with some footwork too that's causing that, but if you're dancing because of the wind, it's probably an improper crosswind correction. Now, once I touch down, I don't instantly go like this. If I've got a wind coming this direction, as I slow down, I will slowly roll that in. If you just go instantly like this, you still have some aerodynamic principles working over that wing with just a little bit of speed. You're gonna go that way a little bit. You don't want that. So as you slow, you add more and more and more until you're to a taxi speed, then you get that full crosswind correction there. Remember, the exception is this, you dive away from tailwind. So if it's a quartering tailwind from this direction, I would dive and away. Any other crosswind, I'm just turning into. Tailwind's the only one where I dive and away from that quartering tailwind on my taxi controls. So remember that, all the way to the hangar. And speaking of all the way to the hangar, when you get off that runway and you get past that hold short line, by the way, I mean past the hold short line. I've seen people where they think past the hold short line is just they're sitting here in the flight deck. If they get their physical body across the hold short line, they think that's clear the hold short line. That's not it. You have to get, don't forget you got a tail too. You got to get your whole tail past that hold short line. Then, once we're fully past that hold short line, right? We're going to run through our after landing checklist. We're going to take our time. We're going to write down our taxi clearance. We're going to confirm it on our taxiway diagram, everything else. And then we're going to still, crossing corrections, fly it all the way to the hangar, all the way to the tie down spot, all the way to the ramp, all the way to where the line guy goes like this, whatever it takes. I need you to make me a promise. Will you fly it all the way to the hangar? Stop giving up at the end, right? That flight isn't over till you pull that mixture back to idle and it shuts down, you tie that airplane down. Then your flying is done. Make me that promise. Hey, I'm gonna see you all live tomorrow morning. It's been a great way to kick off your morning. Make sure you are there. It'll feel like a bonus kind of in-flight coffee in a way. Look forward to seeing you all as well. Fly it all the way to the hangar. In the meantime, have a blessed, abundant, outstanding rest of your day. And most importantly, remember that a good pilot is always learning. Have a great day, everybody. I will see you live tomorrow. See ya. Hey everyone, one of our missions here at M0A is to help you make flight training more affordable. And I'm sure you felt the impact of rising prices, and we just wanted you to know that we're all in this together. We've held the same pricing for more than 10 years, which is truly unheard of. But like you, we're also feeling the effect of rising costs. So for the first time, our courses will increase in price on February 1st, 2023. However, I don't want you to pay more. So we're setting it up so you can lock in the current price by becoming a subscriber right now. Existing M0A members, you're gonna keep your current prices for as long as you keep that subscription and as long as that's maintained. If you're in a trial, head over now to m0a.com and click on the store to become a member now. And thank you so much for trusting M0A. We are truly so grateful for you and hope you have just a blessed, abundant, amazing day.